if you're not one of these super rich people, you have to understand your money probably isn't managed the same as theirs. And here's what I mean. It is all about the difference between what I like to call symmetrical investing versus asymmetrical investing. So, of course, that begs the question, what the heck does that mean, right?
Welcome to Retirement Today. My name is Zach Holcomb, and alongside me we have Michael Reese. He's a certified financial planner, retirement planning expert, and founder and president of Centennial Advisors, located right here in Austin, Texas. Mike, how are you today?
I'm doing great, and hey, let's go ahead and go on the record and say I hope I'm at least starting to lose some weight because I'm doing this crazy thing called exercise. So we'll see how that affects my life, how it affects my energy level today.
Right, I've never heard of her. Let me know how it goes. All right, so on today's show, I'm really excited about what we have to discuss here today. We're talking about the 3 keys to financial prosperity, correct?
That's right. 3 keys to financial prosperity. So what we want to talk about today, Zach, is what are the 3 things that you absolutely have to do? Like, what do you have to do in order to enjoy true, complete financial security? Now, I'm not talking about incomplete financial security. Like, if you want to make sure that you are completely financially secure, we're going to talk about how to do that today. And, what we find, Zach, is, most people, they have some financial security maybe, but it's incomplete. Our job today is to talk about what are the 3 things you need to do for you to have complete financial security no matter what.
Right. So some people might be covered in 1 or 2 of these areas, but your point is you have to account for all 3.
You got to account for all 3. Very true. And I also want to talk a little bit before we're done. We've got a really nice, we call it a complete financial security blueprint. We've got a great blueprint we've built to make it easy for people to figure out, hey, what have they done well and what areas do they need to work on? We'll talk a little bit more about that later on as well.
Cool. Can't wait to hear more about it. So let's dive right in. All right. So the 3 keys. What's the first one that comes to mind?
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's lay these out, all of them at once,
okay,
and then we'll dive into each one.
Okay, cool.
All right? So if you want complete financial security, here are the 3 things you have to do. And they are not optional. You've got to do them. Number 1, you have to manage your money effectively. And we're going to talk more about what that means in a little bit right here on this segment. Number 2, you've got to plan for taxes, right? You've got to keep more money in your pocket, give less to the IRS. And I don't know if you saw this. I know we'll talk about this later in the show, but I see that in Biden's new tax plan, he wants to basically make Americans taxed at the highest rate in the world on capital gains. So, we'll talk about that. And number 3, you get your money managed properly, you get your taxes managed, but guess what? Sometimes things happen that you don't expect. So you have to protect yourself. You have to have protections in place to make sure that you're in good shape if things happen that, quite frankly, you didn't plan on.
Yeah, all 3 of those things seem pretty equally important to me, but I know we're going to talk about managing your money properly first.
Yeah, let's start there. So here is the biggest problem out there. And I see, Zach, we see this every day. And I mean every day. And this is because it is a big problem with the financial industry. So let's start here. Let's imagine you are super wealthy.
Okay.
You've got tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, you've got some serious money.
I like thinking about this already.
Yeah, you win the lottery, right? We yay team. Anyway, the point is you got a lot of money. And because you have a lot of money, you are able to work with the very best investment advisors in the country, in the world. Like, you have access to the absolute best.
The 1%.
Right.
Yeah.
You need to understand, if you're that person, your money is probably managed very differently than everybody else out there. Right? So as you're sitting there listening, maybe you're driving the car and you're stuck in traffic. It's Austin. We have traffic again. Maybe, maybe you're at home, wherever you are. If you're not one of these super rich people, you have to understand your money probably isn't managed the same as theirs. And here's what I mean. It is all about the difference between what I like to call symmetrical investing versus asymmetrical investing. So, of course, that begs the question, what the heck does that mean, right?
Yeah, pretty interesting concept.
I mean, I can barely pronounce symmetrical and asymmetrical sometimes. I
Right.
mean, but so what does it mean? What is the difference between these things? Well, here's what it means. This is how 99.9%, by the way, I guess I shouldn't use a percentage without having actual data to back it up, but it seems like 99.99% of people we talk to are investing symmetrically. So what does that mean? Here's what it means. It means that if you go back in time, if you look at your portfolio, how your money's invested, and you say, well, how much might I make when in a good year, when the market's doing really well? And then you look and say, well, how much might I lose if the market's doing really poorly, like say in 2008? Those numbers are really close to the same number. So a balanced investor today, to give you an example, if someone's a stereotypical balanced investor, you might say, hey, I'm diversified, I'm balanced, yay, I feel good. Here's reality. Reality is this. If the markets do really, really well, you might make as much as, say, 25% in a really good year.
Hey, it sounds great.
Yeah, we're going to be, nobody's mad at their advisor when that happens.
Rocking
right?
and rolling.
But in a really bad year, you could lose 25%. So in other words, the amount you make and the amount you lose are really close to the same number. That is symmetrical investing, and there's not a chance in the world a wealthy person would accept that. Right? Or a hedge fund, or like a big institution, or a foundation, or an endowment. Like big money, they would never accept that. Yet, everyday Americans have that happening all the time.
So just to briefly recap, symmetrical investing, your general investor who is in a balanced portfolio, they're symmetrically invested this way.
Yeah, they might make 25% in a good year, lose 25% in a bad. And here's the problem. Nobody remembers the bad years because we haven't had one in forever. Right? Now, how does that compare with asymmetrical investing? Asymmetrical investing means the wealthy person in their balanced portfolio, if the market does well, they may make 25% just like you, right? And so they're no different really there. But in a bad market year, instead of losing 25%, they might lose 5 or 10% at the most, never more than 10. So in other words, asymmetrical means that, a good year plus 25 and a bad year minus, say, 7 or 8, those are not the same number. My opportunity of loss is very small compared to my opportunity for gain. So what does that really mean to you? Let's say you got $1 million, and you might have more, you might have less, right? So I'll just use $1 million because it's a round figure. If you invest $1 million in a balanced portfolio, if the market has a bad year, you could lose $250,000.
I don't want to lose $250K.
Yeah, and you probably don't even realize you could. What about a wealthy investor? If for the same $1 million, a bad market year, they might lose $70,000. You're losing $250,000, they're losing $70,000. That's $180,000 of risk that you're taking on your investing that, quite frankly, you don't need to.
Right.
It's just not that hard to invest asymmetrically. Here's the problem. The big financial firms, they just don't care. I mean, let's be honest. Unless you have like $10, $25 million, they really don't care about you. You don't have enough money for them to really pay attention to. So they just put you in just kind of cookie cutter portfolios and away you go. Right? And they just, hey, everybody lost 25% this year. That's everybody. Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, so be it. It
which
happens.
Is pure BS.
Right.
Pure BS. Asymmetrical versus symmetrical investing. Where are you? Are you taking on more risk than you have to? That's really the key question. If you want complete financial security, you invest asymmetrically. You limit the loss, but you let your gains run. That's what you do. You limit your loss, but you let the gains run. The question is, whether you're investing the money yourself or whether you're having someone help you, are you truly investing asymmetrically or are you investing symmetrically? Now, that kind of brings up our blueprint that I was talking about earlier.
Right. Yeah. Tell me about that.
So we've developed, this is really, my goal is this. I want to provide for you the easiest path to complete financial security. That's our mantra. We want to provide the easiest path to complete financial security. And so I figured, how do you do that? Well, step one, let's create a blueprint and let's make it simple. One page. One page blueprint. What it does is it looks at each of these three areas that we're going to be talking about today. Managing your money, managing your taxes, and making sure you're protected against, the unknown. Here we're talking about managing your money. On this one-page blueprint, we can very quickly, very easily show you, are you investing symmetrically or are you investing asymmetrically? Which way are you investing? Are you taking on risks that you don't have to take? Like, who would want to do that? Why would you take on risks if you don't have to? It's just kind of silly, right? We want you to run well when the markets are running well, but limit your risk. And so what we're going to do for the first 10 callers, if you give us a call, and Zach, you give the number here in just a second, give us a call, and we will provide that one-page blueprint for you absolutely for free. Zach, I know we're running up against clock here. What's the number?
To get this free blueprint, give us a call, 512-886-5850. Again, that number is 512-886-5850. Hi, and thanks for checking out Retirement Today. If you like the content we share on our channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can stay notified about all of our latest content and videos. Be sure to share all of our information with your friends and family as well. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.